My name is Mr. Autism. Trying to get a mustache hair out of my lip. And this is going to be my first podcast. Now, I'm doing this podcast from home, and I'm doing it on my computer, and I'm also filming it. And because I'm doing it from home, I'm also going to try and do this while at the same time take care of my son. There we go. Got a little bit of light. Now, I am a stay-at-home parent. I used to have a job before my son was born. My wife had a very difficult pregnancy, and I had to take time off from work in order to take care of her. And after our son was born, we both looked and saw that daycare would have cost as much as either of our paychecks. So I decided to leave work and be the one to raise our son. So one of us is doing it and not a stranger. That's him right now. He's adorable. Our son is the greatest thing to ever happen to us, and he's definitely the greatest thing to ever happen to me. I made a lot of changes in my life thanks to him, and a lot of improvements in my life thanks to him. He's watching Charlie Brown right now. He loves Charlie Brown. He also loves Bluey, and he loves Miss Rachel. So we got a nice selection of entertainment things that can keep him occupied. But we also like to limit as much screen time he has as possible, because less screen time is helping with his development. Because our son is developmentally delayed, specifically with speech. And he babbles more, he does do a bit more talking, the less he watches. So I hope that's working, and I hope he keeps it up. I know I'm definitely worried about him talking because I'm also on the autism spectrum. The mask I'm wearing isn't just a cute mask. It represents, for me, forgive the pause. Sometimes my brain is trying to catch up with my mouth. The mask represents me being able to achieve my goals regardless of what anybody else says. The mask represents me being able to achieve my dreams regardless of what happened to me in the past. Now, I can get more into that later. Excuse me. I want my son to have the best life possible. And he really inspires me to achieve that for him. Part of me wearing this mask, for those who are listening, you can see it on the video on YouTube. Part of me wearing this mask is a reminder that I can achieve what I want to achieve. And also, because of my situation right now, financially speaking, I don't have a lot of money. My family doesn't have a lot of money, so I'm upset about that. And I got a lot of pent-up emotion. And thanks to my son, I feel like I no longer care about being nice. So I'm going to be as unfiltered as possible and just speak my mind. And wearing the mask helps remind me that I can speak my mind. It's empowering in a way. It's like a shield, but at the same time, it's more of helping me be more like myself. Now, I do speak my mind with my wife, and I do speak my mind with my therapist. And I'm getting better at speaking my mind with my family members. Now, a note on that. I did have a good childhood. I didn't have the most supportive childhood, specifically in the things I needed. Now, my parents were supportive of me, just not of the things I wanted them to support, like music. I naturally am a good musician. I love music, but my parents didn't want to support me in it, mainly because my mother's uncle died of an overdose, and he was a musician, and his environment contributed to that death. So she didn't want that for me. Now, in all fairness, that was good. And looking back on it, it was good that I didn't get into the music scene at an early age, because I can be very, very easily influenced by my environment. I'm better now as an adult. I have more assertiveness as an adult. Back then, not so much. It still was frustrating and it still hurt. But it no longer matters because I'm an adult. And one of the things I've learned as an adult is you no longer have to rely on other people for validation. You no longer have to rely on other people for self-worth. You can create that self-worth for yourself. You can validate yourself and rely on that for your self-worth. And I like that. I still need to work on it. And part of being able to validate myself means I need to heal. I need to heal from the scars of the past, which is going to take time. I've already been doing the healing process for like 5 years now, thanks to the help of my therapist. And I still need to go through the healing process. Hold on a sec. I'm trying to find the remote for the DVD player that... Okay, I can't find the remote. I don't know what happened to it. Excuse me. But I'll look for it later. I lost my train of thought. Moving on. A little bit about myself. I was born and raised in Southern California. And I am in my mid-30s. Alright, one sec. I need to turn this off. Where is it? I'm from Southern California originally. I'm in my mid-30s. I'm the youngest of 5 boys. Alright, just give me a sec to... I'm following my son right now. Hopefully I can keep him playing. I have been married for 10 years. I have a 2.5-year-old. And I currently live in Utah. I live in a city 15 minutes north of Salt Lake City. And okay, so we're in a room where he has toys. That's good. Hold on. Here we go. Excuse me. For those who are just listening, I was sitting down in one of the rooms in the house I'm in, but there was a lot of glare in the window behind me, so I had to adjust and so that the window light is facing me, so the video viewer doesn't have to deal with glare. So I told you about where I come from. I'm the youngest of 5 boys. I've been married for 10 years. I have a 2.5-year-old son who's playing right now, and I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. What that means is I'm a Christian. A lot of people call us Mormons, but they don't understand that we are Christians. It's in the name. We worship God the Father through his Son, Jesus Christ. And I love being a member of the church. It has been one of the greatest things in my life, and it has one of the biggest influences of my life. And I'll talk a little bit more about that influence at a later time, but I just wanted to do an introduction to that. Okay, right now my son is sitting in front of me, and my dog is moving. My wife and I have 2 service dogs. They're both pug mixes. Jax just stepped on one of the things on my computer that shut off the video, so I'm going to have to edit this video together. Now, the original goal is just to do one video and keep the editing simple. I'm not looking to make a great video. I'm just trying to express my frustrations, express myself in a simple and easy to understand manner. We'll see what happens with it. And again, that's my son. I feel like I want to do this because I want to be able to I want to be able to get my frustrations out and just be a better person and not allow my frustrations to hold me down. My son just threw a little block at the computer, and that's why the camera was shaking. I love my son very much, and I want to provide a better life for him. And it's been hard because my family doesn't have a lot of money. We currently have to live with my father-in-law because we can't afford to live on our own. There have been blessings that have come with that, such as my father-in-law and the rest of my wife's side of the family who live very close, have been able to watch my son so that I can take care of myself. When my son was born, I had a psychotic break. I suffered from severe male postpartum depression, and I just broke. And I had to go to the hospital to get better. And gratefully, I was able to get on the right meds in the hospital. Now, I had to get on additional meds since then, but the base was there. And I was able to be stable enough to go home, return home, and take care of our son. And I'm better at it now than I was when Zion was born. And I couldn't imagine not being a father now. He's so cute. Now, I'm not going to show him on the video because my wife and I agreed that we don't want our son to be known to a bunch of strangers. It's different for me because I'm an adult, but he's still a toddler. And we want him to have that privacy and just be a normal kid. So that's why he's not going to be on the video. I'm just bouncing around from topic to topic, and one of the things that I want to do with this podcast and the videos that come with it is just to talk. And I'm talking from the perspective of a stay-at-home parent. I'm talking from the perspective of someone with autism. I have high-functioning autism. Back in the day when I was first diagnosed, it was called Asperger's. Nowadays, it's called high-functioning autism. And I'll speak more on that in a later video. Excuse me. Just burped in my mouth. I want to provide a better life for my son. I'm just frustrated because I can't. I have to take care of him. I can't rely on my family or my wife's side of the family to watch him all the time because they all have their own lives. And they're not always available. Now, when they are available, they help me be able to do things to take care of myself so I don't have another psychotic break, like doing professional wrestling. I got this mask from a legit pro wrestling mask maker who lives in California. He made the mask, or a version of this mask that I'm wearing, to celebrate Autism Awareness Month. And I told him I would be honored to wear that. And he said, "Do you want one?" And I said, "Yes." So I got one. So I got the mask, and part of why I got the mask is because when I was re-diagnosed with autism at 24, I had a difficult time adjusting to it because when I was first diagnosed, I wasn't paying attention. Partly because with autism, I have memory problems, and because I'm so focused on one thing that I don't notice what's going on around me. And I was just recently diagnosed with ADHD, which means in terms of memory, I just bounce from thing to thing so much that I can't focus and thus struggle to remember things. So I honestly didn't even know that I was on the spectrum, and my family didn't put in the effort to tell me I was on the spectrum or remind me that I was on the spectrum. Now, I'll go into a bit more detail on that later. I spoke about it in a TikTok video, which just look for Mr. Autism on TikTok if you want to watch that video. If not, don't worry about it. I want to be able to speak freely about these things. Now, if people watch this or video or listen to this podcast, that's great. Though I feel like it'll be more therapeutic for me. Because, like I said earlier, one of the things I'm able to do, thanks to family support, is, in terms of watching my son, is do professional wrestling. Now, I haven't been able to do that recently because I'm part of this production put on by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints called Savior of the World, which is a play/musical about the life of Jesus Christ, which the church puts on in Salt Lake City every Christmas season. And I'm a background cast member in it. So I haven't been able to do wrestling. But my family's still able to support me. By my family, I don't just mean on my side, I also mean on my wife's side. I'm close with my in-laws. And they're able to help watch my son so that I can do this play/musical. And I was just watching him move, my son. And I'm hoping my family will continue to support me when I go back to wrestling, because wrestling is very important to me. Wrestling represents a second chance at life for me. I wasn't able to live my fullest life before I got married and during the majority of my marriage and before my son was born. I'll go into further details with that later in another episode. But I feel like wrestling represents my second chance at life, at living a better life, being a more fulfilled human being, being a healthier human being, and being able to provide a life for my son, and to be a better husband to my wife. I love my family, and I don't want them to feel embarrassed to have me as a father and as husband, or as a son, or as a sibling. Because I feel like the majority of my life I have been an embarrassment to my family. And I'll go into further details on that later. But that's just how I feel. Whether that was true or not is up to other people's perspectives. I just feel like I have been an embarrassment. I wasn't able to fully live my life because I couldn't function. I was severely emotionally underdeveloped, very emotionally immature. I didn't understand how to live on my own or how to take care of myself fully. I didn't know how to have a healthy relationship, which impacted my marriage. And right now, I can do those things with the help of a lot of therapy, being on the right meds, a lot of good marriage counseling, and support from my family. I feel like my in-laws have been more supportive of me than my own family. Probably because I'm closer with my in-laws, like distance-wise, and they're able to assist more. And also, my mother-in-law has been very supportive of me and very patient with me, even when I don't deserve it. And I'm grateful she's my mother-in-law. She's like a second mom to me. Now, I know it's weird that I have a good relationship with my mother-in-law, but it's the truth. I love her very much, and she helps me a lot. So I don't want to make this video too long, or this episode too long, because I'm not interested in having a long podcast of me just talking. Even though I've gone on for a good distance, I want to keep it as simple as possible and as short as possible, but still get my point across. The future episodes are just going to be me talking, whether it's based on my interests or what I'm feeling in the moment, or basically what I feel like talking about. Mainly because I have a lot of internal dialogue, and right now you, the viewer and the listener, are experiencing that internal dialogue out loud. So you're going to get more of this in the future. I don't know if I'm going to release these every week or every month or every 2 weeks, but I'll figure something out that works with my schedule. Because I don't want this to interfere with my time taking care of my son, which is another reason I'm going to keep this short, and another reason I'm going to end this particular episode soon. Because my son needs me to pay attention to him, and I need to be better about that. So I thank you for your time, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Bye.